Hi everyone, welcome back to part 4 of the Book One Cozies Club, chapter by chapter for Christmas Cowbells, the first book in the Buttermilk Creek Mystery series by Mollie Cox Bryan. I'm Di and this is my audio-only reading vlog for this book. Today I will be reading chapters 19 through 24 and sharing my thoughts with you along the way. Due to the nature of this reading vlog, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't read these chapters yet, I would suggest you not listen to this recording until you do. If you would prefer to hear my general thoughts on this book in its entirety, keep an eye out for my Book One Cozies Club series First Impressions video, which will be posted sometime after the reading vlogs for this book have completed. So we left off last night with me not too happy with my reading experience for this book and not having a lot of momentum in the investigation. So I am hoping for more investigation and less talk of Dan and cheese making and the Reverend. But yeah, let me dig into chapter 19 right now and I will be back with you in a bit. So I just finished chapter 20. Interesting turn of events there. I'm very perplexed at the way Bryn flew off the handle with Mike. I mean, I can get that she's upset and scared, but she just went off the handle on him and yeah, completely uncalled for, but I suppose you don't really know how you're going to act in a situation like that until it happens to you. It's interesting that the way that the fire area was set up the way it was. I don't know if it was supposed to be like a warning or if somebody was just setting up a campfire in the middle of her field. It just seems a bit weird. I did like the fact that she was greeted the next morning with food and, other members of the community coming by to check on her. But you do have to wonder if they're checking on her to see if she's okay or if they're just being nosy. I guess in a small town like that, news definitely travels fast, as they say, but yeah. So now it looks like she's considering getting a dog, even though just a chapter or so ago, she had made mention that, she didn't have the ability to care for another animal, but yeah, maybe we'll see Schuler's dog or the dog that's been following Schuler around come and stay on the farm. Also, already mentions of Dan again, several mentions of him, and I don't know, I'm just irritated with it. Like, she keeps going back to, this would be different if Dan was around. This would be different if Dan was around. It would be different if Dan was around. And I don't know if that's because she's not over him or if she regrets breaking up with him. I don't know. In some ways, I feel like she's feeling sorry for herself because he cheated on her and she's decided to, or she's had to take up this venture on her own. But at the same time, I'm just like, move on with your life. Hire a helper or something. Like, I don't like that she keeps dwelling on it. So, obviously, I am bothered by her constant mentions of Dan. And I feel like, we're 100 pages in at this point and we're just constantly being bombarded with things about Dan. And I'm not interested in Dan. I want to know what happened to Nancy. So, yeah, I'm going to dig into chapter 21 now and hope that we get a little bit more information either in regards to investigating what happened with Nancy or investigating what happened at Bryn's farm last night. So yeah, I will be back with you in a bit. So I just finished chapter 24, and it looks like the two boys will be leaving soon, which is sad. I really did enjoy having them around and having some interaction with Bryn, because since she's not doing very much investigating, the only real interaction we're getting are from the boys and now Schuler, who's coming to help Petunia. But yeah, looks like what I thought about Bryn adopting the dog that was following Schuler around is going to happen. It was very nice to see that Freckles and Petunia get along so well together. I do find that the way Bryn is going about her questioning, like when she had called Flannery Construction or Flannery Contractors, the contractor that was working with Nancy, even the contractor that she had called before that to see if Nancy was working with them, she was a bit odd about it. Like, I don't know. Why would you tell them where you lived? Wouldn't you just say, I'm just calling to see if you were going to work with Nancy on renovating the church, instead of giving her personal information? That just seemed weird to me. But anyway, I'm glad that she has now found the contractor who was working with Nancy. Some interesting information there on the last page of chapter 24. I do have to say that when the idea of there being an underground railroad from the church was mentioned, I thought maybe somebody was using those passageways to maybe traffic something else. But because it was just a short mention, I didn't really think about it anymore. But now with that information that we got at the end of chapter 24, maybe there's something to that thought. So I'm looking forward to seeing if any of that information pans out. I'm looking forward to seeing how Petunia and Freckles get on with each other. And I also forgot to mention that I am very happy to see that Tilly was not adversely affected by Bryn flapping her lips to Tilly's parents at Nancy's funeral. I was a bit concerned about that, to be honest, and it seems like Tilly was not affected by that at all, which is nice. But yeah, these chapters were a bit better for me as far as reading experience goes. So I'm looking forward to continuing through tomorrow's section, and hopefully the momentum that I have gained with my reading experience of this book will continue as well. So that is all that I have to say about this section. Definitely let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts are, and I will be back with you again tomorrow. Take care and smile always. Bye.